Hi, I'm Emily. I never thought I'd be the kind of person who needed revenge, but life has a way of surprising you. 3 months ago, my world was perfectly normal. I had a job I enjoyed as a marketing director, a circle of friends I trusted, and a husband I adored. James, have you seen my laptop charger? I called out one Thursday evening, rummaging through my bag. My husband appeared in the doorway of our bedroom, leaning against the frame with that half smile that still made my heart skip after 7 years of marriage. Check the kitchen island. You were working there last night while I made dinner. You're always right about these things, I said, walking over to kiss him on the cheek. Not always, but definitely about your absent-minded professor tendencies, he teased, following me to the kitchen. What time is your presentation tomorrow? 9 sharp. The Henderson account is huge. If we land it, the whole team gets bonuses. I grabbed my charger from exactly where James said it would be. Want to watch that new mystery series tonight? I need to turn my brain off. Sounds perfect. I'll make the popcorn if you pour the wine. Deal. Red or white tonight? After the day I had with that Johnson project? Definitely red. He opened the cabinet to grab the popcorn. By the way, Sarah from your office called the house phone earlier. I frowned. That's weird. Why would she call our landline? Said she couldn't reach your cell? Wanted to confirm some meeting tomorrow? I told her you'd call back. That's strange, I replied, uncorking the wine. My phone's been with me all day and there are no missed calls from her. Plus, we don't have any meetings scheduled. James shrugged. Maybe she got the day mixed up. Maybe, I said, though something felt off. She's been acting strange ever since I got that promotion instead of her. That night, we fell asleep on the couch, the TV still playing in the background. It was the last peaceful night we'd have for a while. The doorbell rang at 3 a.m., jolting us both awake. Who the hell? James mumbled, rubbing his eyes. Maybe it's a package delivery mistake? I suggested, though I knew that made no sense at this hour. James got up first, and I followed him to the door. He looked through the peephole, then turned to me with confusion. It's some guy I don't recognize. Before I could respond, a voice called through the door. Babe, you left your purse in my car. I figured you'd need it for work tomorrow. I felt the blood drain from my face as James turned to look at me, his expression morphing from confusion to disbelief. James, I don't... He held up his hand and opened the door. Standing there was a man I'd never seen before, holding a purse that looked exactly like mine, down to the small coffee stain on one corner. Oh, the stranger said, looking between us awkwardly. I didn't realize your husband would be home. Who are you? I demanded, my voice shaking. I've never seen you before in my life. The man looked genuinely confused. Emily, come on, after last night? Don't do this. What are you talking about? What last night? I insisted, my heart racing. I was home with my husband. We met at Skyline Bar, he said, looking increasingly uncomfortable. You said you were separated. That's a lie, I turned to James. I've never been to Skyline Bar in my life. You know I was home with you last night. James's voice was cold when he spoke. I think you should leave. Sure, man, whatever. Here's your purse, Emily. He set it down on our welcome mat and walked away, shaking his head. James closed the door slowly, then turned to me. That's your purse. No, mine is... I turned to where my purse always sat on the entryway table, but it wasn't there. I ran to the kitchen, the living room, our bedroom, searching frantically. When I returned to the entryway, James was examining the purse the stranger had left. This is definitely yours, Emily. It has your wallet, your keys, even that lipstick you bought last week. James, I swear to you, I have never seen that man before. Someone must be setting me up. Who would do that, and why? I don't know, but that's not possible. I was with you last night. My phone pinged with a text. I grabbed it hoping for some explanation, but it was from a number I didn't recognize. Thanks for last night. Same time next week? James saw the message and walked away, shaking his head. James, please, you have to believe me. Look at my call history, check my location. I've been home or at work, nowhere else. I don't know what to believe right now, he said quietly. I'm going to sleep in the guest room. James, wait. I need time to think, Emily. This doesn't make any sense. The next morning, I called my best friend Vanessa in tears. Someone's trying to destroy my marriage, I sobbed into the phone. Slow down, Em. Tell me exactly what happened, Vanessa said. After I explained, she was quiet for a moment. That sounds deliberate. This wasn't random. Someone planned this. But who would do something so cruel? Let me think. Who at work knows where you live? Who might have access to your purse? That's when it hit me. Sarah, from the creative team, has been acting strange lately. Ever since I got the promotion she wanted. The same Sarah who called your landline yesterday? Yes, James mentioned that. She said I wasn't answering my cell, which was a lie. That's suspicious, Vanessa said. What else has she done recently? She's been undermining me in meetings, giving me cold shoulders, and last week she accidentally spilled coffee on my presentation notes right before the client arrived. Start there, Vanessa said firmly. And Em, document everything. The next day at work was excruciating. James had barely spoken to me that morning, and now I had to face colleagues while feeling like my life was imploding. I spotted Vanessa waiting by my office door. Did you tell James you're investigating? She asked without preamble. I tried, but he said he needs space to think. I unlocked my office. He's staying with his brother for a few days. That's probably for the best while we figure this out. I've been thinking, we should talk to Mark. Sarah's boyfriend? Why? Because I saw his photo on her desk once. He looks a lot like the guy you described from last night. I felt my blood pressure rising. You think Sarah would use her own boyfriend to sabotage my marriage? People do crazy things when they're jealous. Remember that woman in accounting who keyed her boss's car after being passed over for promotion? But using your boyfriend to pretend to have an affair with a coworker? That's next-level psychotic. Which is why we need proof before making any accusations, Vanessa cautioned. I texted my cousin Michael. He's meeting us for lunch. He works in cybersecurity and can check your phone for spyware. When Michael arrived at the cafe, I barely recognized him. My cousin had transformed from the gangly teenager I remembered into a confident professional. So someone's messing with you, he said after I explained everything. Hand me your phone. Can you really find something? I asked as he connected my device to his laptop. If there's something to find, I'll find it, he assured me. People think they're clever, but they usually leave digital fingerprints. While Michael examined my device, I noticed Sarah and a man entering the cafe. That's them, Vanessa whispered. That's Mark. My heart stopped. It was definitely the man from my doorstep. Found something, Michael announced. There's a tracking app disguised as a system update. Someone's been monitoring your location, and they can access your messages. Can you tell who installed it? Not directly, but it happened 3 weeks ago, according to the timestamp. 3 weeks ago? I thought back. That's when Sarah borrowed my phone to call her Uber after the team happy hour. Bingo, Vanessa said. But how did she get my purse? Duplicate, Michael suggested. She had access to your original, took photos, ordered a replica online. That's insane, I exclaimed. Who goes to that much trouble? Someone deeply disturbed, Michael replied. And dangerous. We need to be careful here. I need to confront them, I said, standing up. Wait, Michael grabbed my arm. We need more evidence first. Let me clone your phone so we can trace any future attempts. As Michael worked, I watched Sarah laughing with Mark. Anger built inside me. They're leaving, Vanessa said. I'm going to follow them, see what else I can learn. I'll come with you, I insisted. No, you stay with Michael. I'll be more inconspicuous alone. Vanessa returned an hour later, her expression grim. I overheard them in the parking lot. Sarah was congratulating Mark on a performance and mentioned something about Phase 2 happening soon. Did they see you? No, but someone else did. Vanessa pointed to the door where a man was entering the cafe. That's Ryan from accounting. He's friends with Sarah. Ryan approached our table. Planning something, Emily? What's it to you? Michael asked. Just wondering why you're following Sarah around. I think the better question is why her boyfriend showed up at my door at 3 a.m. pretending I'd left my purse in his car. I countered. Ryan's confident expression faltered. I don't know what you're talking about. Cut the crap, Ryan, Vanessa snapped. We know Sarah's behind this. The question is, are you involved too? Sarah's my friend. She said you've been trying to get her fired. That's ridiculous, I exclaimed. I've never done anything to Sarah. You stole her promotion. I earned that promotion through hard work. Sarah's performance has been slipping for months. Ryan scoffed. Whatever helps you sleep at night. Were you part of this plan? Michael demanded. Because accessory to harassment carries serious consequences. Ryan's face paled. I didn't do anything illegal. So you did do something, I pressed. What was it, Ryan? He fidgeted with his napkin. I just may have helped her get access to your schedule. That's all. How? Michael's voice was dangerously calm. I might have installed something on your computer when you left it unlocked. You're admitting to unauthorized access of company property and invasion of privacy, Michael said. You realize that's grounds for termination, right? Look, I didn't know what she was planning, Ryan protested. She just said she wanted to play a prank. After he left, Michael turned to me. We need to set a trap. What kind of trap? One that gives Sarah enough rope to hang herself. I have an idea, but we'll need help. On Monday morning, I walked into the office with new determination. Over the weekend, Michael had equipped me with evidence of Sarah's tracking app, and Vanessa had convinced 3 other colleagues to help with our plan. She's in the break room, Vanessa texted me. I found Sarah making coffee, surrounded by our coworkers, exactly as planned. Morning, Sarah, I said loudly. We need to talk. She turned, her smile falsely bright. Emily, how was your weekend? Interesting. I discovered someone installed spyware on my phone. Someone who borrowed it 3 weeks ago at happy hour. Her smile froze. What are you talking about? I'm talking about you sending your boyfriend to my house at 3 a.m. to make my husband think I'm cheating. The break room went silent. All eyes turned to Sarah. That's absurd, she laughed nervously. Why would I do that? Because you resent me for getting the promotion you wanted. Because you're vindictive and cruel. You're being paranoid, she said, but her voice wavered. I pulled out my phone and played a recording. Sarah's voice saying, the look on her face when your marriage falls apart will be priceless. Sarah's face drained of color. Where did you get that? Your boyfriend isn't as loyal as you thought. Mark felt guilty and recorded your conversations. This was a bluff. We hadn't spoken to Mark yet, but Sarah's reaction confirmed everything. You little snake, she hissed. You think you're so perfect, don't you? Always the star employee, always the one everyone loves. I never did anything to hurt you, Sarah. You exist. That's enough. You walk around here like you own the place, while the rest of us are treated like garbage. Lisa from HR stepped forward. Sarah, I think we should continue this conversation in my office. No, Sarah shouted. This isn't fair. She provoked me. By what? Being successful? Vanessa interjected. You don't understand what it's like to always be second best. So you tried to destroy my marriage? I asked, keeping my voice steady. You thought that was an appropriate response? I'm sorry, okay? Sarah's tone shifted to pleading. I went too far. I was jealous and stupid. Can we please just move past this? Apologizing because you got caught isn't the same as being sorry, I said. And no, we can't move past this. Emily, please, she begged. I'll make it right. I'll tell your husband it was all a lie. It's too late for that. Sarah's expression hardened. Fine, be that way. But watch your back. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Is that a threat? Lisa asked sharply. Take it however you want, Sarah snapped, then lunged toward me. You ruined everything. 2 colleagues stepped between us as Sarah tried to grab me. In her rage, she knocked over a chair that hit Lisa's leg. That's assault, Lisa said calmly. I'm calling security. As security arrived, Sarah shouted, "This isn't over, Emily. You'll regret this." Actually, I replied, pointing to the ceiling corner, it is over. That security camera caught everything. All rise. Court is now in session, the Honorable Judge Martinez presiding. 2 weeks later, I sat in a courtroom beside my attorney, watching as Sarah entered with her lawyer. The restraining order hearing was just the beginning. Workplace harassment charges were pending, and the company had already terminated her employment. After the judge granted the permanent restraining order, Sarah's lawyer approached us outside the courtroom. My client would like to speak with you, she said. Is that wise, considering the restraining order we just obtained? My attorney asked. Just for closure. In your presence, of course. I nodded, and Sarah walked over, looking nothing like the confident woman I'd known at work. Emily, I want to apologize again, she said softly. What I did was inexcusable. Yes, it was. I've been seeing a therapist. She's helping me understand my jealousy issues. That's good for you. Can we possibly move forward? Maybe not as friends, but at least without this hostility? I looked at her carefully. Sarah, you tried to destroy my marriage and my reputation. You threatened me. You installed spyware on my phone and tracked my movements. The answer is no. People make mistakes. This wasn't a mistake. It was a calculated campaign to hurt me. Actions have consequences. Her expression hardened. So that's it? You get to play the perfect victim while my life is ruined? You ruined your own life, Sarah. Now please respect the restraining order. That evening, James and I sat on our porch swing watching the sunset. He had moved back home after the truth came out, but rebuilding trust would take time. How did the hearing go? He asked, taking my hand. The judge granted the permanent order. Sarah tried to apologize again. And nothing. Some things can't be forgiven. Vanessa joined us, carrying a tray with 3 glasses of wine. To justice, she said, handing us each a glass. And to friendship, I added. I couldn't have done this without you and Michael. Speaking of Michael, James said. He called earlier. The workplace harassment case is looking strong. The company lawyers think Sarah might face criminal charges for the stalking app. Good, Vanessa said firmly. She needs to understand that actions have consequences. How are you feeling about everything? James asked me. Vindicated, I guess, but also sad that someone would go to such lengths because of jealousy. The important thing is that you stood up for yourself, Vanessa said. You didn't let her get away with it. And we're okay? I asked James, the question that had been lingering between us. We're getting there, he said honestly. I should have trusted you from the start. Trust has to be earned back on both sides, I acknowledged, but we're worth fighting for. As the sun disappeared below the horizon, I considered how quickly life can change, how one doorbell ring at 3 a.m. had set off a chain of events that tested every relationship in my life. What would you do if something like this happens again? Vanessa asked. I thought for a moment. The same thing. Stand my ground, gather evidence, and fight back, legally and properly. That's my girl, James said, squeezing my hand. The question I still ask myself sometimes, what would you do if someone tried to destroy your life? Would you forgive and forget, or would you make sure they face the consequences of their actions? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this one.